right, guys, we've got MARU in the top left side of the map, Rogue in the bottom right. It's a ZVT best of 7 lower bracket finals here in RSL. MARU dropping that series in the upper bracket finals. And a pretty narrow match. He came out very cheesy in the TVP, didn't quite pay off. Rogue, of course, has had an amazing run. After losing the first round of the playoffs in the upper bracket, he has blitzed through some very stiff opposition. A couple close matches in there, but also some really big wins and dominant wins over some of the best players in the world. So it's really curious now. Rogue has obviously got through a few Terrans as well as that very impressive win over some Protoss players. But MARU is a different beast. Now, historically, Rogue beats MARU a fair amount, but then sometimes he loses the one game. Historically, Rogue has a massive win percentage against MARU with 1-1 roach timings. MARU almost always gets caught off guard by them. Historically, 2018, 2019 kind of era, they played a few times in Katowice playoffs. And I'll never forget those series because I really thought at the time, I was like, damn, this is going to be an interesting series. And what was so fascinating is Rogue would go mass roach every game, and MARU would scout the roaches, and then he'd pick up all his Marines, go fly across the map, and 50 roaches and Ravagers would come in and kill all his tanks and SCVs, and he'd lose. And I was like, wait, why is he moving out? And then he'd do it again, and I'm like, MARU, calm down. But there's like a weird thing, because these guys were on Jin Air Green Wings, the same Pro League team for like many, many years. They've been teammates, and every time they've played, it's like they think the other guy knows what they're going to do, so they try to do something completely different, and like they kind of, there's like a weird metagame that evolves. But I don't know if, you know, they haven't been teammates for a while. Are they as close now? Is it going to be like those series from 6, 7, 8 years ago? Or is it going to be a fresh version of Rogue versus MARU? We've also seen Rogue get about 100 supply ahead with Roach Ravager timings, and then MARU just bring it back with tanks on the high ground, and Rogue refusing to transition. That happened on ley lines about, what, a year and a half ago in GSL? Don't know if you guys remember that series, but I remember thinking, oh, Rogue's done it again. He's killed him with Roach Ravager. And then MARU was like, well, I'm not technically dead. I'm going to hang in here because I'm MARU. And then Rogue's next wave got a bit less efficient of a trade, and then the next wave got smashed. And then the next wave just did nothing, and then MARU won the game, and I was like, ooh. Ooh, that's rough. Here we go, jumping in the main. Shouldn't find anything. He's going deep. I think he dies here if that queen stays on the ledge, which she does. Yeah, nice snipe. Rogue managed to take out the Reaper. Bit of an overcommitment there for Mr. MARU. We go 3cc. Are we going to go Viking here? There's no tech lab. This looks like a Viking. Oh, straight lib. Doesn't even bother with the Viking. Okay, cool. Oh, Zergling sees everything. Oh, that sees everything. You see a starport with no add-on, guys? You do not need a fast lair for detection. You can go double upgrades. So you can go burp, burp, double upgrades. Obviously, he doesn't have the gas for it yet. He's going to go Roach Horn second. Oh, you can go Ravager Ling all in. That also works. You know, there's no Banshee. A reactive Ravager Ling all in. It's a very late all in. He was not planning to do this. And yet, I think it's going to be very hard to stop. It'll hit about 5 minutes 45, I would guess. And, let's see, was this 5 queens? Yeah. So I think he's got plenty of supply free. As soon as this Roach Horn pops, he's already got lots of lava. He's going to go as many roaches as he can, and then nothing but Zerglings. You can see that Roach Horn is very delayed. It's definitely not a timing attack he was looking for before the game started. Zergling's going to try to come in for a bit of scout, maybe a bit of a distraction behind it as well. There is no Banshee production, no tank production, no bunker. Oh, jeez. This is going to be a disaster. The Lings are going to go in to distract, try and hide the roaches moving across. Because if your Lings go in, the Hellions have to go in to defend the Lings. By the time they dealt with the Zerglings, the roaches could be on your doorstep. Liberator comes in the main, gets pushed back. Don't know if he saw these roaches popping. I don't think he did. MARU doesn't seem to be picking up what's happening right now. The SCVs, oh, look at this. He quickly does try to hide in the pocket. Hellions are coming home, but this allows the Roaches and Ravagers to push across the map. Already 3 Ravagers making mass Zergling behind it. Rogue building 2 more Overlords to make sure he can keep up the production as well. The Lings are going to try to run away. He's trying to lure these Hellions away. Hellions taking up residence, but MARU caught, pants down, double upgrades on the way very early, but he just does not have a response. The Liberator comes back. He's going to try and siege this lib to slow down the advance, which is a decent call, but it will be exceptionally exposed when those Ravagers arrive. He's going to have to unsiege and dodge that Maru, and he's got to pull up his main base ramp. Only way you defend this is staying on the main. He's going to try and defend the natural. That ain't going to work. The Lib does go down. No, only 2 miles. It survives. But look at this. Rogue sees the 2 Juicies. These are 2 very attractive targets. If you just deny mining on the 3rd and the natural, by the way, Mules are still mining on the 3rd. He needs to put like 2 Zerglings over there to deny that. Oh, Ravagers try to move forward. Got to be careful. But as long as you deny those upgrades, and he finally does move the Lings around to get the surface area, losing those 2 upgrades at 2/3 of the way complete is a disaster for Maru. Rogue can drone behind this. He's not choosing to, though. He does try to drop the Biles on that Lib. This is a bit of a crazy move moving up that ramp, but now that the Lings have breached the ramp, he doesn't have to attack into a headbutt. Those Hellions against Lings in a choke point are very dangerous. The Ravager's doing really well. The Lings are kind of headbutting into the Marauder Hellion. Maru putting up a valiant effort with his handful of stim bio, but his Hellions are almost all gone. The Ravagers are on top. More Lings are coming in. Rogue does not want to play a longer game. I think most people would have transitioned from here. Rogue's like, F that. We're going all in. Honestly, I think it was a bad call. I think it went. I mean, he's probably still ahead. Oh, no, he finally gets the SCVs on the 3rd. Good thing he found those. Yeah, these Lings are still trading fine. No Hellions left. It's fine. It's still a good spot for Rogue, but I kind of feel like if he kept his army alive, Maru wouldn't be able to move down for several minutes. And you could just deny the natural on the 3rd. Now, I think Maru can just siege a tank on the high ground and should be able to defend this natural. Start dropping meals. Double Evo, 10 drones on the way. Roach speed as well. Rogue, of course, trying to get the worker count up. Doesn't have a crazy worker count yet, but Maru's economy, how do we describe Maru's economy, guys? I would say it is poopy. Probably the nicest way we can describe it. His rebuilt is 1-1. He's still ahead on the upgrades, which is impressive. Chat says 4 base versus 2 base. I do know you guys struggle with counting. 4th base hasn't started just yet. It is 2 versus 3. It's effectively in terms of worker count, we're at that similar ratio, though. You're not wrong that it's an obscene difference. 3rd command center does almost finish. He needs an armory. Struggling to afford it, though. There's so many things. He can't even afford marine production right now. Only 2 marines building at a time. 4th hatch gets cancelled. So this is the one thing that's consistent in these sorts of games. Does he not have enough? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh, a lot of Lings went down. So one thing that's consistent in these sort of games is Maru will snipe your 4th base 6 times in a row and then just like take the slowest 3rd of all time and somehow defend a Roach Ravager all in and then be back in the game. If this was not Maru versus Rogue, I would say this is game over. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, Rogue doesn't have a lot of longevity with this plan. If he was going Infestors, Hive, 80 drones, I think that'd be great. But because he lost his 3rd, I think he's just going to do Roach Ravager Zerg. Probably should win with it. I mean, what is that? 14 Marines? Come on. I mean, I've seen I've called so many games between these two and said, yeah, it's game over. Rogue's got this in the bag, and then Maru makes a crazy impossible comeback. I think this one might be a bit too far. A bridge too far, this one. Chat says, I hate that Rogue's doing a 2-base all-in. I agree, guys. What a shame. Though, maybe that comment was from earlier. I thought people are memeing now. They're like, oh, Maru secures his 5th base here. I'm like, yeah, okay, guys. Calm down. 3rd base has landed. I just don't think you can defend this. Pure Roach Ravager. 1-1 upgrades have kicked in. So it's equal ups. Yeah, 2-2 started. 2nd factory started. Maru trying to go 2 factory tank here. But look at this army, dude. So many coming in. Things coming in from the right. Roach Ravager's gonna have a bit of an angle. One of those tanks is exposed. Can he get it? There's a tank on the left. I'm surprised Rogue hasn't split into that natural. Finally, he does go after it. And the bio, the SCV's going down. The Lings get that tank in the back. And that is game over, man. Maru has literally no units left. He's got, what, two Marines and a Marauder? 4 medevacs? Really clever play there. And I think this all comes down to that single Zergling. Comes in. Sees the starport with no add-on earlier in this game, and he says, if you don't have a Banshee, you are vulnerable. The Ravager Ling finds massive damage. Great reactive all-in from Rogue. All right, guys, to sum up that game, we have a commenter in chat by the name of Zarathos who says, that game was just Rogue saying, oh, you're trying to pull your pants down? Well, allow me. I don't know why that makes me so happy. That's just such a dumb and funny way of putting it. That was a beautiful play. Yeah, I mean, I love a Viking lib opening. I love mixing these in. The lib is so cheap. It's easier to get. You don't need to bother with the early Tech Lab Starport, no cloak. But yeah, you really don't want them to know about it until the lib leaves your base, because otherwise they can just come and punch you. If it would have been 300 IQ for MARU to get scouted there, and then if he reactively put the Starport on the Tech Lab and just built 1 or 2 Banshees anyway, how cool would that have been? I would have been so impressed if he made that read. But alas, didn't realize, and that would have been enough info for Rogue to pivot. Spawning pool down at a minute 12. Not bad. Pretty tight build order for both sides so far. Missing you today from Timmy. And I don't think this map has any gold. Oh, there is a gold up here. Oh, yeah, this is the map, actually, where MARU took the gold. Didn't he? Up in this top right side, after he had to cancel his natural against that rush. Oh, and there's another one here. So there's 2 gold bases in the top right side. And the bottom left is all blue. All standard bases otherwise. Interesting terrain through the middle. You can kind of see these different ledges and like high ground, low ground dynamics. Definitely some areas that could be quite annoying for Zerg to engage, but overall, you've got an abundance of reasonably wide open paths for Zerg to always go around. And I just look at this map, and even though, I mean, there's not a crazy amount of dead space, there are little bits on these edges. It does feel like it would be a decent map for Mutalisks. The weakest part would be this area, where it's hard, like if you go in the back, it's kind of hard to get out of this back area without getting caught by Marines on the edges, but in general, a very mobile style like Mutiling Bane would be excellent. What's up, guys? Exclamation mark bracket if you guys want the listed games for today. Those watching live, this is the lower finals of the RSL from last week. It's about 5-6 days ago when I'm casting this. So many good series to put out. I didn't want to jump on this until I had a full day to really go through the best matches from the playoffs and check them out in order and really get the storylines of how the players' runs looked. Because that's always a big part of it. You know, it's cool to just cast 2 big names in isolation, but it's always fun for me to kind of understand what their path looked like to a championship or a finals. Oh, Reaper gets caught. Almost dies. Let's have to get out of there quick fast. See, already we've got only 2 queens. 3rd queen's pretty late. That 3rd queen is super late, guys. I think Rogue forgot that queen for a while. Goes for an immediate extra inject. Creep Tumor goes down. Reaper's... Oh, there's a ledge on the left as well. Hello. Gonna sack the Reaper. I don't know why he's stopping to attack the Zerglings. He does get a drone. Well played. Good grenade there. 3rd command center is in the wall off. MARU loves that 3cc in the wall off. I remember thinking it was like a cool defensive maneuver. Creates a bit of a choke point here a lot of the time. I mentioned that once. Someone said, no. He just likes it because the SCV needs to mine from the natural afterwards. So it's nicer to come down here. You get 400 minerals as you get to the low ground. You build it, and then you're closer to the minerals as well. Whereas otherwise, the SCV just hangs around in the main for 10-15 seconds waiting for the minerals, builds it here, and then has to go to the natural anyway. And I'm like, this is the great thing about Terran. There are so many minor optimizations in your build orders. Like Innovation, I remember was like the best macro player. He's one of the few players who almost every building he builds, he would grab like the SCV as it pops, tell it to build the barracks. Next SCV that pops, builds the barracks. Like his build would be optimized where he doesn't want to pull workers off minerals and disrupt his optimized mining. And he was like one of the first guys who I noticed consistently. Maybe there was people before, but I remember Innovation was the first one I noticed where every single game he would pull the mules off before they mined the last trip, because otherwise they'd mine 25 minerals and then they'd die just before they return it, and the minerals basically just get removed from the map, right? You don't get them. They don't go back to the mineral patch or anything. So he was like, no, I need these bases to save this 25 minerals per mule. I will pull every single one off just before it finishes. And I'm like, how do you keep track of this, man? I've never once tried to do that, by the way. You guys see Clem and stuff do that pretty regularly in the early game these days, but never. I've played a lot of hours of Terran, by the way, but I've never even considered adding that to my arsenal. I'm like, that's above my pay grade. I know my spot. It's definitely not that level of skill. It's kind of like, I wonder if like playing Civilization style games is useful for that, because you know, like there's a lot of strategy games where you kind of have a lot of timers going in your head simultaneously. There's like a bunch of different things and progress bars that you're kind of tracking, and you're trying to like sync them up at the efficient moments. So you can get this to kick in just before this one kicks in, so that it benefits from the previous bonus and that sort of thing. Like, you know, if you're playing a lot of, I guess a lot of different games have those sorts of mechanics, but especially strategy games, maybe helps with that sort of stuff. 4th and 5th barracks on the way. It is interesting because a lot of StarCraft players, I would say, are pure StarCraft players. They're not really that big gamers otherwise. They just love the StarCraft multiplayer because it's so easy and interactive to get into. Can be a gateway, though, to deeper pastures. It is Mutiling Bane. I love this choice for Rogue. Oh, cool, man. I'm really happy with this. This makes me super excited. It's not insanely fast Mutalisks, though. So my problem with this build, hear me out, by the time he builds Mutalisks, because he's not starting double upgrades before then, his double upgrades are going to start at like 7.5 minutes or something. Okay, at least he's... Okay, finally the Evos... I feel like these could have gone down a little while ago. I think he's going to start those as soon as those Evos are done, just before building Mutas anyway. I think he could have started the upgrades earlier with how late the Spire is, but we'll find out. MARU has not done a crazy build. 1-1's going to go into 2-2. So as always, good upgrade timings. That's one of MARU's biggest features in this matchup. Some of the best upgrade timings in the world. We'll see how he goes. Are we going to go Mutas or 1-1? I think he's going to go 9 Mutalisks, eh? Rogue. Oh, 2 Overseers in the open. Oh, those are juicy pickoffs. He's also not pulled back his Overlords. Queens should save that one. Good transfuses. Oh, where's the Lings? Hello? Oh, the Lings aren't coming forward on time. Already lost 3 Queens by the time the Lings got in there. That's rough. 3 Queens, 8 Lings go down. Only kills 4 Marines. Wasn't even a full double drop. Hellions in the middle as well. Mutas are coming. 1-1 upgrades are on the way. +2 attack starts. MARU doesn't have the gas for +2 armor. And that's annoying, but at least he started the most important upgrade. Beyond. Sorry, guys. I know Hero and Dark are the players that normally get shade from me when I'm casting other players, but Beyond... If I'm casting a Terran who's really good with starting the right upgrade, Beyond always gets a little bit of shade. Oh my gosh, 3 Mutas! 3?! That's a lot to lose this early. And he's got... Oh, this is a crisp tank push. Tanks, Marines, Hellbats. It's only 7.5 minutes. 1-1's done. Shields is going to kick in the next 15 seconds. This is really bad. Rogue is in trouble right now. This is really bad. Mutas pulled to the left. Lings are going to try to dive in. He goes for these Marines. Hatchery in the north gets killed. He's going to try and jump on top. Let's see what he can do. The Lings going for the wraparound. The SCVs, Marines, and tanks are coming back. Hellbats are there as well. Mutas flying around. Command Center does take damage. Lings diving into that main base. We'll see how he goes. Oh, look at this. The Lings are not going to get too much. They do get cleaned up. And not only do you get the 5th, you also get the 4th. Mutas can kill the 4th Command Center of Terran. I'll tell you what, he's happy to trade that. Then again, actually, we've already got a base on it. Wait, was Rogue already on 6 base? What in the world? Guys, he just lost 2 bases. He's still got 4 mining. What the heck? Okay, guys, I'm going to pause the game and give Rogue a yellow card here for unconscionable greed. I mean, it works out in his favor. Because he loses mining time. He loses hatcheries. It's not good for him. But if he's back to 3 base, it's so much worse. 4 base versus 3 base. He's going to take the base in the bottom left. I love this expanding away from Terran pattern. Love to see these Lings and Mutas loop around. I think the Lings need to counter separate from the Mutas, honestly. I think one mistake a lot of players make when they play Mutiling Bane, I've noticed this at pro level a lot, is they only think the Mutas can counterattack. They think it's illegal to send Zerglings in. He already did one. That's why I think Rogue's smarter than most Zergs. But the number of times I see them where like Ling Bane defends, Muta counterattacks. And sometimes it's better to do it the other way. Because Ling's a bit faster, a bit cheaper. Sometimes you send 30 Lings in, they could do way more damage than a Muta flyby. I don't have to worry about missile turrets. Gets a tank and a pack of Marines. Turret does get repaired. Great repair micro for MARU. Mutas could have maybe targeted it. Marines getting down on the production as well. The Mutalisk mobility is fantastic here. Rogue flowing in this game. Ooh, Thor's almost out though. He's got to be careful. He's going to try and target some of these SCVs. I mean, trading Mutas can be okay, but in this game, I think that's a little costly. He's got to pull back. 27 Banelings are up. It's 1-1 upgrades. +3 attacks already started. Rogue has not started +2 carapace, and that is a huge problem. Tanks get a few good shots off, but most of the Banes do survive. He's got to start, and this is so many Zergs. We always forget in this scenario. We're busy making Mutas. We're busy making Mutas. Finally, carapace starts. He does need to go melee as well. Otherwise, he will end up, his Zerglings won't do any damage. But for now, still a few Hellbats in the mix. I guess he never cleared all of them from earlier in the game. We've got 8 racks coming in. MARU's got his full 4 base set up now. And that's huge. Rebuilding the 4th command center, floating it over, getting a planetary turrets up. Whoa, MARU not watching! He takes a big wave of banelings deep on creep to the Marines' faces. That one's a bit of a better spread. The Thor does get picked up and saved, at least momentarily, but I think as the mutas come in, he pulls back to the corner, and that is a desperate last stand for a Terran player who, even though it looked like a good trade at first, if he loses every medevac, this is a disaster. An absolute disaster for the Terran, and that is a huge problem. Oh my lord, he's going to lose every medevac. He should not have been that deep on creep, especially when he wasn't watching. MARU had 4 bases. He did not need to push. He could have denied the corner with a pre-spread of units around here and then been in an amazing spot with the upgrades. Now, he's let Rogue right back into this game. We know Maru's had shoulder injury issues in the past. We know he's also in the best condition he's been in a few years after talking to him and Crank at Pigfest 7. Pigsty Festival 7.0 was... found out he was at a clinic for a lot of sports people who have different injuries. A lot of like physio and different sort of exercises and strengthening and treatments he's been getting there. And apparently it's been kind of life-changing for him, where kind of awesome because he got his military exemption, so he doesn't have to do military service, and now he's able to play more multitasking styles, MARU is, than he has in a long time without that pain kicking in as bad. Only one medevac on this side. MARU's still got good upgrades. He's remaxing, and that Hive is always so late off a Mutiling Bane build. Hard to spread creep on such a big map, but Rogue's had really good activity rate on it. It's respread active tumors on pretty much every path. You could just use another one here, maybe. That's impressive. This is a huge map. Missing you today. It's going to be hard for Terran to push. I think giving up momentum earlier was such a bummer, because I think a big map like this can work against the Zerg if you're a Clem style player and you've got momentum. Maru's not really a Clem style player. Then again, neither is Rogue. I don't think Rogue's the fastest player in the world by any means. I think these guys are pretty evenly matched on the mechanical front. But it's just with so much creep and so much room, pushing through that creep, very hard for Bio. Quite easy to just click a bunch of Banes forward and then counterattack elsewhere. That's Rogue's game. He's going to try and delay with handfuls of units, expand to both corners simultaneously, and he says, sure, you can deny bottom left. It's okay, I'm expanding to the top right. I don't really care about losing this base all that much. He's trying to delay him. Oh, he's thinking about collapsing on this. I don't know about this Rogue. Rogue's almost... He's got 3-3 Adrenal Ultra Cavern, all on the way. But none of them have kicked in yet. Honestly, I think Rogue taking a big fight here is a disastrous decision. And he does think better of it and pull back, but he's got to get out of here. I think he's just trying to distract and let the Baneling Cocoons finish. Bunch of them do go down. Baneling Cocoons do have 50 hit points and 3 armor, so they do tank a fair bit of damage, but that's a lot of Terran. And the Banes are going to go in. He thinks Maru might be too deep. The Mutas are going to take out the Thors. The Bane split is excellent, but so is the Bio split. Dude, that was such good Baneling micro. The way they split in 3 different areas towards the triple Marine split of the Marines was excellent. Very impressed with Rogue there. I really like the way he did that fight. I think if Maru took it a bit slower, Rogue didn't need to fight. But because he felt like Maru was rushing forwards and trying to catch him off guard, trying to get the extra hatchery, Rogue said, you know what? I don't think you're going to be fully ready for this fight. There's no way you have time to set up the full spread, burrow all the Widow Mines, get all the Marauders in front. I'm going to jump on you right now. And it worked out. Really paid off. He's got +1 air armor on the way. 3-3, getting past the halfway mark. Carapace, or Chitinous, I should say, for the Ultras. That's +2 armor for them. Kicking in, and with Ultras hitting the field, he's in a good spot. The only thing he's lacking is Spellcasters, but with no Ghosts out just yet for Maru, it's not the end of the world. And if these Mutas ever die, you want to swap usually into Corruptors, a couple Infestors, a couple Vipers, but otherwise Ultraling Bane, such a good comp on a big map with spread out bases. And this is exactly that sort of map. Oh, big counter though. Watch out, Maru goes to the top right. Rogue's done defending. Oh, Widow Mines! Widow Mines, watch out. Okay, only 1 or 2 of them went off. He actually killed 2 of the Widow Mines, I think. I think there was 3 Widow Mines and 2 turrets there, but he only took 1 Widow Mine to the face. Nice move. Rogue getting on top of the 3rd and the natural at the same time. Gonna take out the turrets and the natural. The Baneling's getting some decent hits. Of course, Maru's gonna shove in as well and start finding damage, but burrowing the drones as well, making it difficult for him to clean anything up. The Marines. Oh, the Muta's got shredded there by the Thors and some Marines from the rally. Ultra's trying to get on top. The SCVs buy valuable seconds for those Marauders and Thors to work. But that's a lot of Ultras. Two of them get distracted by the depots, though. Dumb Ultras. Shooting not the most important target. Oh, he's going to go drop on the high ground. Maru trying to distract Rogue here. Rogue tearing down those depots. These Ultras not really fighting the most important units. Bunch of changelings there. The Ultra does go down. That Ultra's going to go down to the planetary as well. But look at this. Widowmine drop on the left side. Does get in. The drop inside on the high ground actually doing shocking damage. If he drops the low ground and snipes the hatchery, that'd be impressive. Mutas are here. As is an Ultra on the low ground. He targets the hatchery anyway. Ignores the Ultra. Gets it. He clicks with his important thing. The Marauder takes down that hatchery, which is nice. But Rogue still has a mining base there. This base will be mining. Oh gosh, at least the Widow Mines are firing now before the 20 drones transfer on top of this next Widow Mine. Oh lordy, Maru, don't target it. Maru, don't target it. Maru doesn't target it. That's lucky. That's lucky. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. No shame on Maru for not targeting that in the midst of everything else. But those drones coming in at the wrong time could have been a disaster. +3 vehicle platings coming in. There is building armors done. No high-sec auto tracking for the turrets and planetaries just yet. Maru is in a position of 53 workers against 71. He does have a 5th base up. Dude, is Maru winning economically? Oh, Thor gets surrounded by Zerglings. Great snipe there. We've said it before, we'll say it again. Thor getting surrounded by Zerglings, man. It's like getting jumped by 40 preschoolers who do not fear pain and all have sharp, pointy sticks. Doesn't sound intimidating if you think about one preschooler, but 40? Come on, man. That's tough. 20 kills on this Widowmine, guys. They fired again. That's another 19 drones. I think Rogue might actually be screwed. He's rebuilt a lot of Mutalisks, but the Widowmines! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Okay, he flies away. He finally cleans up these Widowmines, but only after another 3 drones in. And those 2 Widowmines have killed like 30 workers, man. That's crazy. He just trying to pull back. Maru's hanging in this game against Rogue. I really am impressed by this, dude. Those 2 Widowmines were so crucial, and Rogue still hasn't retaken this base. Rogue's just not got the money. I mean, how many orbitals we got? Only 4 orbitals. It's not like there's a crazy bank, but look at the income tab. It's really bad for Zerg. Oh, here we go. This is good. You get a few of these SCVs, which is nice. Doesn't get all of them, though. He's got Burrow. Oof, a lot of Banes go down. It's an expensive move. The problem is Maru can afford these moves more. Maru can float a new command center out, so it won't be a planetary, but still could float it out there. Just hanging on this side. Oh man, this is such a big series, isn't it? I think Maru, I really thought this map would be Rogue favored. But Rogue gets the win on maybe the more Terran favored map, Ruby Rock at the start. And now here on potentially the big Zerg, I would say almost certainly the big Zerg favored map. It looks like Maru's doing well, and Telly steps too deep on creep, and Mass Ultra just rolls over him. Widowmines and Marauder focus fire, not bad though. 1 or 2 fungals would be game changing. Rogue has big gas bank. He now starts the Infestors. How often have we seen this, guys? I know I have an Infestor fetish. You guys always make fun of me. Pig, you're obsessed with Infestors. You always talk about... Just saying. There's a lot of Zergs out there. It's always after the fight where they really needed the Infestors and they lose all their Ultras and Lings and Banes. They go, you know what would really help me right now? I'm going to make a few Infestors. It's always when they're deep down the well. You know, it's the boy who cried wolf. They're just like, oh, look, wolf, wolf, ah, look, I'm just trolling. And then when they need help, it's too late because no one believes them. Is it? I mean, that's not the best analogy, but I'll allow it. Marine Marauder Widowmine coming over there, lives as well. Bio on the right side. The fact is, you've only got these 3 mineral lines mining for 2k minerals a minute. They're running out of minerals. Rogue needs these top 2 bases, or maybe the bottom left and this top middle one. He's just not being able to afford it. And as long as a new command center gets landed, and look at this, Maru's going to take this middle base because it allows him to kind of control this whole center side. He's already got the orbital there. He'll take the middle with a planetary. Then he'll try to take the top right. He's going to try and just lock down this top side. That's actually a really clever play, that middle base. I think the middle bases, in general, middle bases towards your opponent help the Terran. Further along the edges helps the Zerg a bit more because they want there to be a lot of room between those bases. They catch you out of position. First Widowmine got shot down by the Mutalist. Second one does land on a few of the Lings and Banes. The Muta's flying on top. There's few Marines in here. It's mostly just Widowmines for the anti-air. A handful, a smattering of Marines mixed in there. But look at this. So many of those are getting picked off. One of them barely surviving. Another Marauder goes down as well. The Mutalists only have 1-1 upgrades, remember? Sometimes in a game this long of Mutaling Bane activity, you've got 2-2, 3-2 upgrades, and that's where the Mutas are much more powerful. These are okay. They are a support unit. They help. The fact that he's still building them this deep in the game, I would describe as very unusual. I think it's a very, I would say this is a very odd move, right, guys? I don't think I'm crazy in saying that. I think this is definitely bit of an out there maneuver. Not something you expect. There are Widow Mines behind. He's going to go forward for the fungal, but the Infestor's got to avoid the scan, bro. Bro! He moves into the scan range at the exact microsecond it disappears. Rogue, you could not be any riskier. He's walking right past turrets, though. We'll see if he pulls it off. He's got an Infestor tracking this army as well. Sharky boy. Sharky boy. Tracking him. Oh, I like this. Picking off these Widow Mines before they can fire, but not when you take the hit. Splash damage is very scary. 40 splash damage on those 120 hit point mutas is scary. They regen quickly. Mutas do have accelerated regeneration compared to other units. Heal up pretty fast, but got to take a breather every time one of those Widow Mines lands. Ling's going for the wrap around. The Marauders going to pick up, pull back. Nice move. Muta's a little too slow to get back here. And he's got this bottom left base finally coming up. But yeah, I don't think the upgrades are here in this game for Muta efficiency. And yet, he's catching Maru. Move commanding out. Fungal catching the Marines. Thor's getting caught. Maru blundering. Wow, the Muta's getting in between the rallies. And Maru drops his trousers. Rogue. What the heck? He's so far behind in this game. But Maru dealing with so much room to cover on this map. He's not used to it. And the commitment to the Mutas controlling the map, I should say, keeping Maru connected, and then getting between his armies. Maru, you could tell, tried to get back there. Twitch chat is shouting in all caps, "Goodbye, trousers!" That's right. You guys called it before. Maybe this whole series is going to be this. Maru's trying to pull his trousers down. Rogue's like, let me help you with that. What a crazy turn of events. There's not much anti-air here. The Mutas can overwhelm, I think, the Fungals. Nice chain of Fungals, but Infestors don't really do enough damage to kill Marauders, and I think we're going a bit too deep on the production here. I think Rogue should preserve his units and calm down. There's been a few moments already in this series where you could tell he's like, I want to kill you. I don't want to play long game. I want to get on top. When he gets an advantage, Rogue goes for it, and I think he's just staying a little too long in some of these engagements where he threw away a lot more units. We're pulling back, splitting links like this base. He doesn't know about this base. That base is so good. It's so undefended. Picks off the turret. Nice. Repair, not enough to deal with that amount of mutas. 23 mutas is a very good count, but the fact is, Rogue, he knows there's an orbital there. If he could get Lings on that base, even if he just keeps going around the far way on the top, that'd be massive. Hitting the rally point's really good. This is a pretty small Zergling count. He tries to run into that base. He comes in from the path of the rally point. Maybe not the wisest decision. Oh my! Those Mutalists just took some Widow Mine hits, guys. They are damaged, the Mutas and the Overseers. Rogue has not retaken this base up top. He's leaving some shiny minerals on the table. I don't know why. Bottom left side, that's the only healthy base Rogue has. He's got a few half bases and this one healthy bottom left base. That goes down, he's screwed. And the fact that he's not retaking it is, well, I think he should have retaken this as well. I think Rogue got to be, like, he's so active with his units, which is great. Infestors burrowed everywhere, Lings burrowed everywhere for little map pack guys. But I love the Lings coming around the top to try and deny this base. Like, he should have done this ages ago. But I want to see more expansions on these edges. Finally, he takes this top side. It is 3-3 for the melee carapace, by the way. 2-1 for the air units now for the Zerg. +3 plating for the Medivacs is in. Also helps for the Thor. Doesn't have any attack upgrades. The Bio trying to... That's a lot of Ling Bane. I don't know about this attack, man. The Infestor gets caught from behind. Isn't able to unburrow. This is a crazy attack angle. Rogue just headbutting right now. I don't know why Rogue's attacking like this. He will find some SCVs at the base, but it just seemed like a bit of a nonsense engagement angle. He does burrow 2 S... Oh. I think it's worth. Unburrow. Just blow up on these guys, yeah? Oh! Maybe get the mules? Well... Mutas are active on the other side. That was an awkward fight. He does get the mules. Unburrows gets the fresh mules, taking the tempo away from Maru. Maybe Rogue's in a good enough spot now, but it is scary. Got 3 orbitals. Only 39 SCVs for Terran. Problem is that if Rogue was up like 15 workers from where he is with at least one more fully mining base, which I guess he will have soon, this fully mining base up top, he could be a bit inefficient and throw units away. Oh, these Ling run bys in that top right. Yeah, whenever you see a base that's not a planetary that's exposed like that, you just want to keep sending handfuls of Zerglings there. Just keep shift-clicking them, using burrow, whatever you can be. Just be a nuisance. It's going to drain Maru's attention in APM, trying to keep that base mining. So annoying for him to deal with. It's funny to see no Overlord speed with that number of Mutalisks. No, these have Overlord speed, don't they? Oh yeah, he does. Overseer, because Overseers lag behind quite a bit otherwise. I think they're very similar speed, right? Overseers and Mutas with speed. I don't know how similar. I think it's almost identical. Marauder's getting picked off. Thor's taking a pot shot. No medevac to save you this time, is there, mate? Rogue, no doubt, happy to take care of that. 3 Infestors full on energy. Oh my, the Infestor's kind of getting focused down. Doesn't land any good fungals here. Rogue, is he cornering his army? I mean, it's hard for you to defend your base here. The Infestors all get caught, but so much production going down. Ling's on the top right as well. The Ultras do go down. The Infestors go down. Rogue's got to rebuild those units. I'd be worried about the counterattack a little bit, but he's doing so much damage up north. 16 workers go down. Refinery's getting picked off. The Mutas, of course, can always fly away. The Thors do not want to let them escape, but those Thors are exposed. He's got to save that Thor. He loses it. He loses the Thor. Tries to cut off the Mutas' escape and actually ends up losing the Thor. That is not good for Maru. A lot of turrets and Widow Mines up there on the gold base. Is that gold base going to be enough? I think this top base finally mining for Rogue. This base also healthily mining. You got 2 healthy bases mining, and that's a big advantage against the 25 SCV Terran. So many Lings and Ultras coming in. It looks like Rogue here. Missing you today. What a back and forth game this has been. So much movement, so many opportunities to make great plays or to mess up here. Widow Mine's firing, but only on a few Zerglings. Mutas can clean those up. Very nicely done. Gonna catch these. This top base is gonna get dove on. Maru's just gonna get in there and say, no way, man. I am gonna deny that. Gets the hatchery. There's a lot of Widow Mines. There's so many Zerglings. Rogue goes full YOLO mode. Fungals for losers. I've got 40,000 Zerglings. Hold my beer. Jumps on top. Maru knows he's just too outnumbered. And a Rogue taking the 2-0 lead. Very nice series so far. All right, guys. Maru in the bottom left side of the map now. He's down 0-2. It's time to dig deep, and it's Celestial Enclave, so let's play some mech. You know you want to, mate. I'd love to see how Rogue deals with modern mech player, because I think Rogue used to be one of the best anti-mech players. Kind of led the way in 2017 on showing us how to beat Gumiho, but... Oh, he's going 15-15. Hello. Hello, 15-15. It's a 15 hatchery into Overlord. Huh? What is this build order, Rogue? What are you doing? Oh, it is normally Overlord before pool. Sorry, it's been so long since I did a 15-15, I had a mental blank, guys. And I was thinking it was before Overlord. No, this is just a standard 15-15. Wow, I really need some lunch. What can I say, guys? This is the last series we're casting today at the end of a lot of epic games. I've delayed lunch for a while, and I think my brain might be melting a bit, especially with, no doubt, the high level of play we're going to be seeing in this series. So I am very excited to see what they're going to bring out. I do apologize in advance if I mess up on my build analysis, but this is gasless. So I think Rogue might take that quick third hatch, go for the Roach Warren about 315, get a few Roaches out to push back the Hellions, and just play that super greedy opening where you usually only get, what, 5 to 15 Roaches at most with this style, depending on how aggressive the Terran is. But it's just enough to push back the Hellions, any sort of Marine stim pressure, and you just go into Quick Hive, Lings, Banes, Vipers, all the normal stuff. Dude, if Maru plays 3 like long late games in a row, brings this to like 3 or 4 of those, turns this series around, oh my gosh, I may actually die. But I mean, I'd love to see Maru play late game. I want to see at least one Maru late game in this series, because I want to see Rogue try to problem solve that stage of the game. He's going to go gasless third hatchery. I feel like this hatchery could have been up much quicker if you're doing a gasless build. Would have had to delay the queen in the main, but I think it's more worth getting a quick third hatchery if you're planning to take the in-base anyway than it is to get the queen in the main. I haven't crunched the numbers on it. That's a feelings-based assessment. And you know what they say, guys? Facts don't care about your feelings. Can you see the hatchery from here if you move right to the edge? Because he hasn't moved right to the edge. I don't think you could spot the hatchery from there, though, can you? Oh, okay, gets the creep tumor. Nicely done. Reaper will back away. Command center's up there as well. All right, so 3 CC versus 3 hatchery. I think this favors Terran initially. The difference is Zerg has an easier time taking their 4th base. Roachhorn should go down now. Okay, we're at 325 and there's no Roachhorn. The Mad Lad Rogue is going to play immediate Ling speed. He is not going to play Roaches, relying on Queens to defend the ramp. And I guess on this map, you can get away with it. I feel like players have been so bad at abusing the fact that you can wall off 3 bases with 1 entrance on this map. Finally, we get a player willing to do it. Oh, the queen positioning was good. It was really good queen positioning. He does let 1 queen inside the main, though. You know, he was actually perfect on the queen positioning. He should have just had an Evo chamber. It would have been much easier to wall off if he had a structure helping. Oh, he gets us around, though. Only 3 drones could have been worse. 1-1 upgrade's already on the way, though. Maru says, hold my beer. You know what's coming. I'm going to have an insanely fast 2-2 upgrades. I have just realized I didn't wash my glasses. Clean my glasses at all yesterday or today. After I did a really long run yesterday, and I think there's like some sweat on them and stuff. I've been casting through like some grimy ass lenses all day. What a noob I am. He gets himself. Oh my gosh. Okay, the Reaper at least dies, but that was like 3 creep tumors, man. I like this. Maru goes 4th command center off 2 barracks, guys. It's 3 CC, 2 barracks, 4th command center before Starport. Greed. Shout out to the guys. There's a new player who's just started playing StarCraft in chat after watching for a few days. And my whole Twitch chat is giving them advice on their settings right now and getting them all fixed up. You guys are absolute legends. Love to see this community in action. I think at the start of one of the Bronze to Jam videos, or maybe most of them, I go over most of those settings, like turning on Flyer Helper, making sure health bars are on always, all that sort of stuff. But I'm not 100% sure if I go over it in all of them. So maybe you guys can check the early parts and maybe just link part of one of those early BDGMs if it has it there. But so the default settings suck. Like, you can't click on enemy units with the default settings in StarCraft because they think that would be too confusing for noobs. This is just like, there are a lot of settings like this. I really feel like so many games are so focused on like appealing to the lowest common denominator of person who doesn't know how to play games that sometimes they really make things so much harder for actual gamers to get into. And they go, oh, this game's kind of awkward and hard to control. And you're like, well, no. You have to go change all of the settings. And then they kind of rely on, oh, casual gamers won't do that, but hardcore gamers will. But I'm like, I think there's a pretty high amount of hardcore gamers who get turned off games because the default settings are optimized for someone with 3 brain cells. You know, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but I think the default settings are often do more harm than good. I get kind of annoyed at that. Sailing speed's on the way. 4th hatchery, or 5th, I should say, in the top left. I think Rogue's done really well economically. Just the upgrades. Like, yeah, it feels like he's got momentum and control, but if Maru can secure a 4th pretty quickly and hit a 2-2, or maybe even a 3-3 timing, gets tough. I love those spores coming in, by the way. These spores on the back base, really good. Gets himself an Overlord and a Creep Tumor. Oh, pick up. Good. Pick up. Doesn't lose any Marines. So the drop path will be here and up here. These are actually the more likely drop areas later on now, because that right side is zoned with spores. As well as down this left side for this top base. Gets himself 2 Banelings. Nice little bargain there. Seeing 2 Banelings out on their own like that should tell Maru that there's burrowed Banelings preparing the map. There's no reason for 2 Banelings to be wandering out on the map unless they are going to burrow somewhere. That's exactly what Rogue's doing. We'll see if he noticed. Was he paying attention? Will he stumble into burrowed Banelings on this map? Love that Rogue's playing some cool styles, man. He's Burrowed Banes here, here, and here. He's got 3 pairs of Burrowed Banes. 2 Zerglings as well. Looks like a Burrowedling was blocking that command center. He has to know Burrow is done. He has to know. Hive is on the way. 2nd factory coming out. 3 more barracks with tech labs in the back of the base. 2-2 upgrades already almost finished for Terran. Units lost tab. 2-1 in Terran's favor, but only skirmishes so far. No serious engagements. Ooh. Marines being annoying. You don't have any range units, you can't really deal with that. Notice, guys, he's going Hive. No Spire, no Hydroden, no Roachhorn, no ranged units. No, get me wrong. Ultra. Oh, hold on. Bane's roll in. Okay, they don't find any big damage. Good defense. Though the SCVs are heavily damaged. The Medivacs can heal those up if they hang around. He does scan, and he barely misses both Banelings. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Does he do another one? Oh, no, 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 no. MARU. MARU. Oh. That's the stuff. Very nice. Rogue not only has a great macro setup with 83 drones, he's also forcing a ton of scans and still lands the Burrowed Baneling despite that. MARU is so safe on the initial move out. Wasn't expecting it there. I think he was probably 1 or 2 seconds away from doing that. Alright, Marines are going to move forwards. A couple of creep tumors do go down. Oh, that's a mass drop. Holy moly, he's going to do a mass sling drop. Turrets are ready, though. He could drop in here. Same thing. Same thing. He could drop here and here. Okay, Rogue's playing a crazy star right now. Ultra Cavin's on the way. I love the idea of doing a mass sling counterattack. Banelings could also roll in here. Obviously, there are tanks defending. MARU's trying to play mass biomine. He's got 3-3 started. Oh, the double drop catches him. It's a fake drop anyway. It wasn't even real. MARU desperately scrambling to stop that drop, only to find out it was a fake, and 1,000 Zerglings and Banes are going to roll in the front. Oh my lord, there's so many Banelings. Oh my lord, so many. Oh my god, that's a Ragnarok. He just chucked a Ragnarok, blows up a factory with them, gets a lot of SCVs, but that's an immense amount of money and overlords that Rogue's just thrown away. That was not a great trade. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the idea, but I don't know if the outcome's any good. I think that was kind of really, I mean, it's good defense from MARU, right? The double drop catching the overlords there, turrets getting some shots, more units stimming to deal with them, gets most of the dropper-lords, if not all of them. And now Rogue has to rebuild 10 overlords, an extra 1,000 minerals on the overlord rebuild, not to mention the massive amount of Banes he lost on that attack. Going up that ramp just seemed a bit crazy to me. I feel like he could have just ran backwards, denied the mining on the low ground, and been fine with it. Because honestly, denying the third factory is not high priority. If it's the only factory, sure. But just didn't kill that much. MARU's just re-establishing everything. Hasn't really re-walled yet and repaired the armory. Non-stop tank production, so Broodlords would be excellent against this tank biomine style. I say biomine. Yeah, okay, there are Widow Mines building. There we go. Cancels the Widow Mine, builds a reactor, Ghost Academy as well. And MARU's command center, I think he's misrallied? No, he's going to go to the bottom right. Okay, I thought he'd take these 2 bases. I thought that was more natural for Terran to expand and then push north. But it looks like he's going to focus on pushing this right side of the map. He's going to split it through the middle, but he's going to take the bottom right first. All right, he's going to pick up and pull away to the left side. Marines trying to unload on this right side as well. Ooh, Drop's trying to get in behind the top left side base. Queen's coming forward. The Marines will be dealt with promptly. The Ling's on top of this as well. MARU cannot find an opening in this game, guys. And Rogue's had time to rebuild. The earlier trade was kind of messy. Oh, did he just drop 3 parasitic bombs on 2 medevacs, guys? He did, didn't he? I really think one of the biggest moves I never see pros do is just wait. If you have 3 Vipers like that, guys, throw 1 or 2 parasitic bombs, follow the medevacs, and then throw another one 5 seconds later, and it'll confirm the kill. Because you just need to make sure like 60% of the damage isn't overlapping. A Viper parasitic bomb does, I think it's 120 damage. Is it 120 or 90, guys? I can't quite remember. But it does, I think it's 120. Medevac has 160 hit points. So, good redrop. He gets the hatchery. That was well played. Very tricky. Rogue thought he left. Rogue, of course, helps him out by taking energy and hit points off of his own hatchery. A little bit unnecessary there. He's got a massive army. 3 Vipers, Spires finally building. MARU is going to look to turtle this out. But MARU hasn't really looked like he wants to just calm down and turtle for a long time. He hasn't repaired his wall, hasn't re-walled, hasn't built any structures out front. And I feel like he should have bio up here, another tank here, you know, really be spread around these angles to make it so Zerg cannot get in there. Ultra breaks that left side, does sacrifice its life to take those rocks down. Massling Bane on the right side. He could blow up the planetary, but once again, guys, at what cost? The Marauders are going to take an amazing trade against those Banelings in the top. Gets the Planetary, gets a Siege Tank. It's losing so much Zerg. And there's not much firepower behind these Marauders, so I guess that's not too bad. The tank shot from the high ground. You can trade a bit worse, but Rogue doesn't have a crazy 95 drone economy, and this map gets hard to take bases as the map goes on. This feels like the sort of game where if Maru's confident in his late game, he should be able to slow it down and wreck Rogue. He is so favored over Rogue in the end game, but he's not at the end game yet. To get there, he needs to get range for his Liberators. He needs more armory upgrades. He's going +3 vehicle weapons, which is very odd. Because normally late game, it's more about Widow Mines and Libs and Ghosts, but I guess he might want to add Thors in there, and vehicle weapons will help with the Thors, but no second armory for plating just yet for Maru. He's just now starting to build the mass command center, or getting the command center up, I should say. He's going to 6 orbitals now. You can get a new planetary in the bottom right. It's going to be hard to break this. I really think Rogue might want to... Yeah, he's going to start trying to mine... He should mine this base as well. Rogue's had Maru totaled up for the last 5 minutes. If he took this base and we're mining them for 1 or 2 minutes already, he'd be taking so many future resources away from Maru. Now, Rogue's not got Broodlords yet. He's going to attack around a corner here. An awkward attack angle, but the Blinding Clouds. Blinding Clouds on the tanks, and only a small section of the Terran army is there. The Widow Mines burrowing on top of those tanks, and all the Widow Mines get taken out by the Banelings. That was actually a really good attack for Rogue. I think that worked out nicely. Corrupt is cleaning up the Libs pretty quickly. But chasing with the ground army here, probably going to be getting diminishing returns. I'll lose an extra Ultra unnecessarily. Probably should have pulled back a few seconds earlier. All right, nice. Queens and Zerglings take out the Marines. Yeah, I mean, I think you make an orbital here as Maru, guys. I don't know about you guys, so you can just lift it, and you just keep defending this area. Maru, is he making a mistake by pivoting to the left? He's going to make a planetary in the bottom right again. I think that makes it a sitting duck. He's going to focus more on this left side, which I thought he would have done initially. But this side's a bit open, and if you lose these command centers, that is rough. Gonna push the left, though, try and force Rogue's attention over here. Looks like it's successful. Rogue responds. Ooh, Rogue's going to split the army. Okay. This base is still wide open, guys. Ling's getting in on top of these tanks and these SCVs would be absolutely amazing, but Rogue's not really been testing in there. I'd love to see Rogue try and get that angle. That planetary. Cancel lift, Maru, cancel lift. Oh, he lets it finish. That planetary is going to get blasted. 3-3. Adrenal glands, chitinous plating have been done. He never made the anabolic synthesis, guys. The ultra move speed upgrade gives him a 10% move boost off creep. It's not crazy massive, but it does matter. Ooh, Widow Mine's clearing the Banes. Ling Ultra Bane Corrupted trying to roll in from this side. Ling's on the right side doing pretty decently, taking out a few siege tanks. On the left side, though, might be the more important fight. Corrupted Ultra coming in. The Ghost, you gotta get out. Oh god, the Ghost! He's gotta run! Rogue stays a few seconds too long, and when those Ghosts arrive, you need to either be on top of the Ghost, dealing damage to interrupt their snipes, or you need to get out of there. Hightail it and run. He ran a bit late, does lose a bunch of units. The planetary does survive. 7,000 resources lost between the two players, obviously in Maru's favor, as is expected. Rogue still does not have an impressive bank, and it does feel like this game's starting to shift in Maru's favor. As long as he protects that pack of Ghosts, and with no Infestors on the map, I don't think there's any real serious threat to them. It'll be hard. Ghost trying to take care of the Changelings. Obviously, Rogue famous for his Overseer and Changeling abuse. He's trying to come forward. Couple tanks go down. Gets up the ramp as well. Gonna find himself at least one more tank, maybe two. Pretty nice little trade, but the Ghosts do defend the last tank. Lots of SCVs dying on this side. Ultras coming in as well as Vipers and Overseers. Widow Mines are firing. Blinding Cloud's not bad on these tanks. It's not a big army for Zerg. The Banes don't really have anything they're good against here. The Ultras do take out a couple of siege tanks and pull back. I think this is good momentum-based play now for Rogue. It feels like he's finally getting the ball moving. Problem, he still doesn't have a great answer to these Ghosts. Ghosts do get forced to cloak. They've got plenty of energy. I think that's fine. That was decloak, and they can continue regaining energy. Whenever they're cloaked, they start to drain energy, but they also cost 25 to turn it off. To turn it on, sorry. Nothing to turn it off. So it says Maru's mining on 2 base, LOL. I'd be super surprised if he wins. 2-base Terran. So you can drop mules on 2-base and have very competitive income. But he doesn't need to push, he just needs to turtle. I get denying these bases helps, but it's just about being patient and not giving a fight to the Ultraling Bane. Bad angle for Rogue, though. Rogue loses the hatchery. Maru pulls back, and I think these snipes will be deadly. You gotta watch out, man. Oh my gosh, attacking head-on with no flank! The Ultras are getting busted by the snipes! The Widowmine's landing pretty well as well. He's gonna cloak the Ghost and spread out the Ultra Bane, getting a surprisingly decent trade considering where things are at. The Ultra's getting on top. Dude, those Ultras, they chase a bit too far. You can see the tail end is there. I thought that would have been way more efficient. That was a very, very basic engagement. Rogue has no bank. It's already GG, LOL. Oh, okay, you're baiting me. I see, I get you. By saying obviously wrong things. Lower foot troll, mate. You could do a better job than that. And you're like, it's already GG. Clearly Rogue has won this game. Like, come on. Come on, man. If it wasn't Maru playing, I can understand someone Rogue fanboying and saying that stuff seriously, but it's Maru, the best late game player of all time. Come on. 4 SCV, 4 drones go down to that nuke. Maru, I'm not saying he's out of the woods completely, but the problem is these bases are all very easy for Terran to deny. You don't get like a lot like that, you know, was the map called Always Missing You Today? The giant map we played before, that was, you know, such big area where the Ultraling Bane's always catching Terran out of position. Infestors can ambush anytime the Terran wants to deny a base. They've got to cross a big open area where Zerg is prone to ambushing you. This map, good for turtling, nice compact layout, lots of ledges, and you're only a stone's throw from leaving your base and denying 2 or 3 Zerg hatcheries, and that's why Rogue needed to get more done earlier. He's going to go Swarm Host. Dude, this is so funny. I love Swarm Hosts against Terran because they can give you unlimited efficiency, and it kind of forces Terran to push. And we've noticed that when Maru feels forced to push, sometimes his efficiency falls off a cliff. It could work, Swarm Host Slingbane. It absolutely could work. It's usually something you do with a much lower drone count because his overall army is just going to be so small. Swarm Hosts cost 3 supply each, so 17 times 3. I'm not good with numbers, guys. I think that's 51 supply of Swarm Hosts. He's also got 7 queens still, which is... Ooh, that's too many for late game. Supply management's been a big thing I've been talking about over the last 6 months to a year. In super late game, supply management's one of the most important things. 1 Swarm Host already goes down to 2 Widowmines. 7 queens. What are they doing? Occasionally respreading creep, occasionally injecting. They're not really doing much else. It's 14 supply and 84 supply of drones. It's 100 supply of those, 50 supply of Swarm Hosts. It only leaves 50 supply for the rest of your army. There's a couple of Lings and Banes are going to have a lot of heavy lifting to do if Maru can push. Maru denies a few more hatcheries on both sides. And these Swarm Hosts, they're going to be most useful wherever the Ghosts are not. They're going to find where the Ghosts are not. He's going to try and Nidus Swarm Host the back door, potentially. Should be recharged. You want to use those Swarm Hosts whenever they're ready. They're about to cool down, but some Bio finds them. You see Bio really good at gunning down these Swarm Hosts, man. 160 hit points. They're reasonably tanky, but they are armored, so the Marauders do bonus damage. Getting +2 now for the Locusts as well. Locusts do such crazy damage. Even without attack upgrades, they're still decent. Definitely will help. At 19 of these Swarm Hosts being invested. Another hatchery killed, not cancelled. Cost is adding up. The Lings on the south side, I love that. These Widow Mines are such a problem. All right, he's coming in with a big Locust wave, but look, quick scramble for Maru. And like I said, Ghosts are so good against Locusts, especially the modern 120 hit point Ghost. He loses 1 Ghost, maybe 1 Marine there. There are Lings in the main base though. Rogue upping the ante, and he's got more bank, remember. Oh, he F2'd them home. He just F2'd his Lings home. Oh no, or maybe they're just on a control group. That's so, oh my God. Don't pretend you're better than Rogue, guys. Every Zerg has done that, where you think the units in a dropper or Nidus aren't on your army. You tell your army to go somewhere and they all run out of the back of the enemy base. Creep spread is amazing right now. You've got to find the efficiency. 14,000 behind on the resources lost. The Swarm Hosts are where you're meant to find your efficiency. Can he do it? With all these distractions, maybe. Ultraling Bane tries to roll forward. Viper's getting impeded. It's not enough Ultraling Bane. As I said, that army is just so small now. And anytime you engage front on like that with Ultraling Bane into Ghosts, it's usually a losing fight. Which is why I was questioning when he fought in that same canyon down here earlier in this game. He's got to not fight in that canyon. I feel like, you know, he's stepping into the canyon to fight Manaroth. Into the gorge. Except, yeah, he's going to be fighting him solo. It's not going to be a 2v1 this time. All right, Ling's unloading from the Nidus Worm. Ghost coming down with the cloak. Let's bring an Overseer in. Hey, the Lings can actually kill these ghosts now with the Overseer. Nice. He gets himself a bunch of ghosts. Rogue getting some profit. These locusts could have killed the base, but it lifts off. Great reaction by Maru. You can see the tanks even covering themselves. Only one tank goes down. This is not bad at all. The Ling's finally getting cleaned up in the main. Took a bit of effort, though. He's got a few tanks stuck siege there. Maru's supply nowhere near maxed. Rogue is only mining minerals now. No gas. And he's almost... oh, that's real bad. Okay, he's got a little bit of gas going back on there. He needs to take gases here. And down here. And he needs to keep some hatcheries alive. He should try to take the bottom right. Maru's given up on this bottom right side because you've even removed this area of map control for him. I still think a lot more Lings should be flooding in this way, by the way. That's kind of a weak point down there. I'd also love to see a Nidus Worm here and also a Nidus Worm somewhere down here so we can just like rotate his Locust waves from different angles. Planetary finishes, there won't be any lifting this one, guys. The Locusts, they're just on A move. They're not actually being microed in here at all, and they don't find a lot of damage. Couple Marines, maybe a Marauder and SCV. 3 SCVs do go down. It's not nothing, but it's not high enough tempo for a game like this. He's got to get more damage. The problem with the Swarm Host is something that's so easy for Maru to expand because your non-Swarm Host army is absolutely minuscule. And army supply might look big for Zerg, but it doesn't really represent the strength there. Also, by the way, do Queens show up as army supply? I feel like they probably do, hey? It's 10 supply in Queens. Whoa, the snipes! Oh, no! Maru catches Rogue with no detection. Bunch of Vipers and Swarmos get sniped. That was a brutal move. The Banes are going to chase after him now. But they don't want to chase into a line of tanks and mines. Now the Nidus Worm's popped inside Maru's backdoor. He's been getting ravaged by these backdoor bandit surprises. Bunch of turrets will go down. But is it enough? Planetary's getting assaulted by the next wave. Is it enough? The Planetary will survive. The Ghosts and tanks do defend it. Bottom right side, Maru springs into action and says, guess what? Locusts are down. Let's take out these 2 hatcheries. Bane's getting some acceptable hits, but I mean, not really acceptable. They're not terrible if you were way ahead, but in this game, he's not way ahead. The Ultras are on the production, though. Rogue is on top of the production. Dude, what a messy, fun late game this has been. I really thought Maru was going to do a better job of shutting down Rogue's Niduses and like backdoor stuff, but that's actually been doing a bit better than some of the other areas. 7 drones in that base do go down. Ghosts back in the main to defend. New Nidus Worm goes down on this side, but there's a tank in range. That one will go down automatically. New Locusts on the front. This time he's actually microing them. I actually learnt Locust micro off of Rogue. So I'm so excited to see him actually micro a wave for once. And he gets the Planetary in about 5 tanks. The difference between microed Locusts when there's no Ghost nearby and unmicroed Locusts with a pack of Ghosts helping to defend, night and day difference there. Good attention to detail for Rogue to finally get a big Swarm Host profit wave. He's got a little Ultra Ling Bane. This game is chaotic. Can he catch Rogue off? One Ultra gets popped. The next Ultras are about to get sniped. Another one goes down, but there's 2 more Ultras there. Some more Lings and Banes trying to get on top. This does look like a good fight for Maru, I believe. But depends. Can he actually hold on? He's started stepping away. He's got nothing to fall back on. It's only a Planetary now, but there's only 1 Ultra left. And he's done his job. Snipes that Ultra. Only 1 escapes. 5 Power Bomb, not enough to deal with these. I think Corruptors will be necessary, but there's only 3 libs. You don't really want to invest too much in that. Not right now. Like I said, this bottom right base would be excellent because I just don't think Maru's checking for it, but I can't believe Maru's got both these bases. That's crazy, man. Maru spamming mules out of the Iron Bank. 8 orbitals. These Widow Mines. Oh, we actually dodged that one. Nicely done. The Mass Repair tries to come in. I don't think you can repair through that number of Locusts, though. Nuh-uh. Widow Mines, SCVs, and mules, many of which are dying there. Great Locust wave. The Swarm Hosts have tried to do it. What's so interesting, guys, is whenever I've gone Swarm Hosts the way Rogue is here, the Terran just grabs their whole army, shoves into my production, gets in between my rallies, my tech, and kills me. It's so odd to see, and that's what like the best Terrans do. The bad Terrans don't do it. They let me just pick away at them with Swarm Hosts. I can eventually win. But the best Terrans do that. Often they have more libs, more ghosts, more Hellbats, though. It's more tank heavy for Maru. It's harder for him to do that. Maybe that's why he's staying at home. It creates a really odd situation where they will add value over time, but I think the rest of the trades are so Terran favored that I think it's still overall good enough trading for the Terran. Even though these free units, these Locusts, can go, oh, look, we killed something and we're free. There's unlimited numbers of us. It's going to be tough to finish the game off. Lingbane coming in, the Ultra gets sniped. Bane's Blinding Clouds. It's a kind of cool looking engagement for Rogue, but it's the last engagement. What I mean by that is that's his last bit of bank of money. He's only got one fresh base, a few minerals here, and a few up there. And Maru has managed to withstand the storm. Now it's just the swarm hosts. 19 of those that he has to worry about. And he's, of course, already re-established the command centers in the top left. That is GG, well played. Maru manages to hold on a fantastic map for the late game. I thought we might see Mech, but we did, of course, see him turtling in that late game. And both players opened up very greedy, but Maru comes out on top. It is 2-1 to Rogue. All right, guys, we've got Maru in the bottom side of the map, Rogue in the top right side. It is EVT Mothership, 2-1 lead to Rogue. He sends his Overlord in the right position first. Command center first, yeah? Oh, no, that looks like he wants to build a barracks. I think I've just seen Beyond play so much CC first on this map lately. I thought Maru might do the same. Yep, Maru and Beyond go way back. Good friends from the Prime days. This is also a fantastic map to hide a command center. In the corner of the map, up here in the other main. Interesting if Maru does consider doing that. Pig, I forgot you were only drinking water. I guess matching you drink for drink wasn't a good idea, GG. I love these comments that come in chat. I have my big flask of warm water to help my throat stay relaxed and my vocal cords stay good during the games. I do tell people it's vodka sometimes, but not today. This is a gas pool. I think Rogue might be expecting or thinking he might run into a CC first, hey? Is he going to straight Bane bust off this, or does he just make Ling speed, do a little mini Ling flood, and that's it? Yeah, I got to keep the vocal cords relaxed during these long casting days. Otherwise, it's torture. Gonna see a few Lings coming out. Ling speed's on the way, and he's left on gas. Oh me, oh my. That looks like a Bane nest to me. It doesn't have to be one. He can always pull off gas when the hatchery's finishing. Does Maru take any safety precautions? His Reaper will divert to the right side and try to see what's up. Queen's here to greet him. Good grenade. Oh, excellent grenade, in fact. Sees a lot of gas mining. That's kind of an aggressive tell. Means Maru's going to go, oh, you could Bane bust me. I got to build a bunker. Still going to build a reactor. He's not going to full panic or anything, which is correct. And I think Rogue pulls off gas now. Oh, he's still mining gas. What, you're not going to go mutas, are you? He's got so much gas. 2 Marines in trouble. 4 Lings come in. Quick SCV pull. Very nice micro for Maru. One of his Marines got in trouble for a second, but I think he's fine. Sends the SCVs back to mine, realizing, yeah, 2 Marines can deal with this now. 2 Zerglings, not really a threat. And it is a lair. He's building a few more Lings. Could do a Queen drop or a Zergling Queen Nidus, one or the other. A depot can raise to block him. Oh, he does not use the depot block. Lets the Ling survive. Maru, I don't know about this one, mate. Oh, he's going to send an SCV to try and clean it. Okay, finally the Reaper goes and cleans it up. Overlord speed, it's Queen drop. Okay, 24 drone Queen drop. 24 drones is normally way more than you need for this build, isn't it? But maybe he just wanted to give off the idea of, hey, I'm building economy, in case you do see that. Ling's going to look for him. Oh, not quite able to get the Reaper. Reaper has to go back. Bunker already is massive at defending this. He's going to build Hellions. 3rd command center. Reaper's looking for the scout. Uh-oh. You gotta not show him any more Zerglings. If he sees any more Lings, it's gonna be very suspicious. Okay, he does catch the Reaper as it tries to jump the ledge. 3 Overlords coming in. Normally you drop 16 Lings in the main, and then the 4 Queens and the Massling flood on the front and jump on the army from 2 sides. If you can unload in the main secretly and then sandwich them from both sides, it's amazing. If you can get Hellions, Marines, SCVs on the ramp, wedged in a tight space, you can beat this. But if these units get isolated, get separated, it can fall apart so very quickly. It's a fantastic cheese for Rogue. It's one that's caught off Clem. And actually, Raynor has beaten Maru with this exact build a few times. I think he's hit a little bit faster than this, off of a slightly lower worker count, but It's a very similar build, which Reina has beaten Maru with a few times in the last 6 months. Oh, the drop gets spotted. Okay, it's go time. There is no hiding this anymore. I would have loved to see those Lings try to wrap around and trap those, but just wasn't quite able to. Gonna go for it. Okay, here we go. You want to drop Queens first, because they can, of course, take a hit. Here we go. Goes for the big surround, guys. He drops the Lings. Doesn't let the Queens really tank, which is a shame. But you don't have too much going on. The Overlords need to drop creep so that he can actually get some transfuses. Maru not able to get the repair up. And one has to question how his reaction was so slow, guys. He spotted the Overlords out there. Right? He comes out. He sees what's happening. He builds an armory. He puts his factory back on the reactor. So he was going to try and go Hellbats to defend this, which makes a lot of sense. But he should have pulled all these SCVs and had them surrounding the bunker, yes? This seems crazy to me that he doesn't have that. To not have the SCVs surrounding the bunker. Maru. What are we doing, mate? I'm not saying you hold this either way, because you've only got 6 Marines, 4 Hellions, you know, and a Viking. It's not a great setup. But that bunker kind of was the most important part, wasn't it? GG. Very nice play for Rogue. I guess a little surprised by Maru not pulling the SCVs ahead of time to at least let that bunker put some more damage out. But there's so many Lings on the map, it's hard. You just can't really kill the Lings early enough or quick enough unless your Hellions get amazing splash damage. All right, guys. Old Republic, bottom left side. Oh, it's really rough that Maru lost that map. It was just dawned on me. That was a Terran map again. And we're back onto a very Zerg-friendly map, very Mutalisk-friendly map. You know, this series, the scoreline could be so different. I keep thinking about, well, like, what if on that missing you today, he didn't overcommit on creep and get all those Marines caught by those Banes? What if he just denied the bottom left and kind of controlled the map? Because that was such a close game on that giant map early on against the Mutas, and I think it could have gone a different way. Now, Maru is going to be playing against what is very likely another Mutaling Bane play. For Clem, if this was Clem in Maru's shoes, I'd say just do a 3cc 2-1-1 build. Get over there with your Marines and Medivacs. Makes it really hard for someone to get Mutas out in time. That's not really Maru's style. Yeah, I think probably 2 factory Blue Flame into Mech is more of a Maru build on this map. I don't know, what do you guys want to see? Let me know in the comments. Comments right now before you watch the rest of the game. If you're commenting on YouTube, comments if you're not live. But I feel like 2 factory Blue Flame, maybe you could play full mech. Could just be 2 factory Blue Flame into bio. Oh, he could do mass Widow Mine drops as well. I think that'd be hard for Rogue to deal with. Like, Maru's very good at doing the mass Widow Mine drop build. Thank you, those watching live. I appreciate Gungardi trying to sell out the stream there. Yeah, thank you, guys. I appreciate those who are subscribing. Thank you so much. No, I really appreciate it, guys. I'm not joining your cult, Fig. I'm not subscribing to your channel. So it's a good throwback from earlier today. Very nice. Very nice. Sorry, guys. The context on that one's almost impossible to explain. Got to go down a pampered chef rabbit hole in order to explain that one. Got to explain a joke that much, it ain't gonna work. Oh, drone's hanging there, ready to hop into the gas. Oh no, Rogue! He shouldn't have moved away. That was sloppy. He gets blocked. Nice block there for Maru. And Maru ain't going down without no fight. The Lings do go across the map though. So this is actually going to be able to potentially do some damage. The thing is, this map's so big that I think your natural command center is done in time. Great Spore. He waited to the last second, but he does get the Spore down. Oh, the Rogue. Oh, sloppy Rogue. Okay, the drone gets a hit, cancels the regen, which means this Reaper will not get out of this base. But if he gets another drone, it doesn't even matter. This Queen's not even closing in. Rogue's multitasking, struggling here. Maru's going to get a second, third. 3 drones go down, but guess what? Lings are in. So Rogue takes 3 drone losses, which is tragic, but I think he killed a Marine. SCVs should be able to take care of this. Okay, so 1 Marine, 1 Reaper, 3 drones, 2. I think this is probably good for Maru. But what a crazy fun opening that was, hey guys? Whew. Oh, Link's come back and he's looking for the Marine. He's like, you went back to mine, you let your guard down. But the Marine survives. Nicely done, Hellions here. SCVs can go back to mining. Fair bit of mining time. Does get wasted at least. Seems like a very typical opening for Rogue. No, nothing crazy. It's just because he got blocked at the third, and now his third is obviously quite late. Went down after 3 minutes. About a 30 seconds to 40-second delay on the normal third hatchery. Some players like to put back on gas a bit earlier, take a second gas, go quick double Evo chamber in this scenario. But I think you can just rally to the third, even if they do a long-distance mining trip. It's really not the end of the world. Third gas on the natural very early. Looks like a mech build, right, guys? What else is he using that third gas for? How peculiar. Could be like Hellion Banshee Cyclone for a little bit. I think if you play Battle Mech, usually you don't want to go above 6 Cyclones with the modern Cyclone. Any more than that tends to be a bit overcommitted. I do like kind of like a Battle Mech opening into traditional mech, I think is quite powerful. Rogue with this Overlord does not see... No, he does see the third gas. But he might not realize that if he doesn't see this gas down the bottom, it doesn't really tell him anything because he doesn't know it's a third gas. A lot of people take their second gas on the natural. You probably didn't notice those guys mining that other gas. So I don't think there's any real tells here. But you know when that Overlord's dead, 2 factories are going down. He's almost got 200 gas. It's either that or double armory. Watch for the stim cancel. Overlord dies. What? Why is he going double upgrades? Did he just cancel cloak? No, he's got cloaks. I don't... Do you need to take the third gas this? Oh, wait. I think I noticed. I think we talked about this detail a few months ago. We saw him do it. Oh, yeah. I think he does this because he goes 2-2 so fast. But actually, this is not the fastest upgrades. Interesting. We'll see. I feel like Maru's going to float a little bit of gas, but it's probably not too crazy. Just a little deviation from the normal build. 2 Banshees, 8 Hellions out here. Hellions are going to dive. The Lings are out of position. Rogue, keep it in your pants, mate. Oh, dude, these Hellions are going to roast. They're going to toast. Beautiful barbecue there. Terran fans are absolutely adoring right now. Good Evo chamber to buy a few seconds, but only a few seconds. You're not going to get much more than that. Somehow he's only got 13 drones so far. I thought it would be even more. The drone split was very impressive for Rogue, actually. I got to say. About 20 drones going down. Not what you want at this stage of the game. Rogue is in the dumps economically after that. Down in workers on a Terran whose third base has already landed feels abysmal. Banshees. Gonna come in now. Look for some icing on top of that cake. Pulls back pretty early. I guess he knows the lair's done. And he doesn't want to take any risks with those Banshees. I would have liked to see him bully. Move around, pick a few more drones off before pulling back. But Rogue's in a dicey spot. He's not got a Spire started. No Evo chambers started. He's got a Roach Warren and nothing else. Like, what do you even do here? If I was him, I'd probably be thinking Infesta comeback. But that's because I do Infesta comeback as my standard play in every game. Because the Infesta is basically my Patronus. It's not Expecto Patronum. It's Expecto Infesta. And he is going to drop an Infestation Pit, which probably means he's going Quick Hive. But I do hope Infestas come in. I love me some Infestas. Don't know how good Rogue is with them. I know I'm not like obviously not bad, but I don't think he's like Dark levels. You know, Dark was actually, I don't know if you guys heard this, he actually was awarded, they announced that he is the greatest spellcaster user StarCraft 2 has ever seen. When I say they, I mean he literally answered that. I asked him in an interview, what makes his spellcaster control so good? He said, I'm the best. I don't think there's any player in the world with any magic unit that's as good as me. I was like, you're such a Chad Dark. You're the only person who would say this. He's so funny in interviews, man. He's the only guy's like, I'm the best. Everyone else is too shy. Dark's a proper alpha, man. So, pulls away. There's a little bit of creep. Banshee's picking off some things there. Maru's in control of this game. 2-2 starts at the same time 1-1 starts. Yes, there's a Hive started. It can be hard to finish a Zerg off on this map, but normally I feel like Ling Bane excels on this map. Roaches, He's going to swap back to Ling Bane will Rogue, but how the hell do you hold off the advance? Because I feel like the 2-2 pushes are going to be really difficult to stall out. 2 factory tanks already producing. I just think that, you know, you push out in about 30 seconds to a minute as Maru. Maybe 45 seconds to a minute. How do you defend that? Rogue's going to have to make some magic happen. Early damage puts you in a hard spot. Rogue's going to have to make some tough decisions. For now, 4 base, 8 gases, Roach Ravager, Ling Bane. He's making 8 Ravagers, which is absolutely necessary to stall out any advance, but it's already here. I don't think he's going to be ready in time. Now, MARU is pushing at an odd timing where it's before his 2-2 advantage kicks in, but he's got 1-1 advantage, so it doesn't matter. It's fine. Yeah, it makes, as long as you got a double upgrade advantage, that's all that matters. Interaction doesn't change. Biles trying to come down. One Banshee does fall. The Marines on that south side gunning down the Ravagers. One of these tanks will falter. Biles, but Rogue's going to have to tap out. MARU there. I don't know why, guys. I've just been like, Rogue's been feeling so good, and he keeps crushing Protoss in this tournament. I just thought Rogue was going to win the series there. I was like, I know what's going to happen. I think Rogue's... Because I haven't looked at the scores. Yeah, so I was just like, I don't know how he's going to bring this game back. But I feel like I just felt like he was, because it's a big map. MARU didn't give him any time. Got in there and just pushed. All right, guys, we're going on to Throne of the Dunes. I think this map's pretty awkward for Zerg. I think MARU should be happy now. He escaped Old Republic unscathed. And if he wins this one, we go to Game 7. Who knows what map that's on? But this is a map with some really nasty choke points on it and ledges and things. I mean, it's not like it I don't know why I think this. Like, it shouldn't be that bad. I think it's just there's these little corners you can put tanks in. And there's not that much room between the two players. And I feel like Terran pushes, every time I watch TVZ on this map, they materialize without the Zerg being ready for it. And then, like, the game starts to kind of snowball. Now, this is a 15 hatchery, so it looks like a 15 hatchery, 15 pool build. Good to see MARU punish there. I like that, you know, Rogue as well. We got to give a shout out to Rogue, guys. Not only is he just playing the best StarCraft he's played in a few years, but he also decided to lose that game to just 8 Hellions wandering into his base, and that felt more relatable than any of the other mistakes we've seen from Rogue recently. I mean, this was... I was like, damn, am I watching myself play? Terran Play just randomly drives 8 Hellions into your base. Your Lings and Queens are completely out of position. You lose 20 drones. That's my special move. I do that every day on the ladder. Rogue's been watching my stream and taking notes. That being said, as a Zerg fan, I'm hoping he stops taking notes off my live stream and starts... make MARU work a bit harder if he wants to kill 20 drones in the early game. Thanks for watching, guys. Bunch of cool people hanging out in the chat. Good to see all those friendly faces and names. Command center goes down on the natty. Hatch gas pool is up. This was no SCV scout, right? Yeah, very, very chill. MARU's not worried about an early crazy all-in or anything like that. Proxy Hatch Ravager can sometimes break a player who doesn't SCV scout. Their defense isn't perfect. I feel like MARU is one of the guys who'd probably shut it down, even if he doesn't scout it till the Reaper sees the roaches coming across the map. One person this stream is missing is Kenneth Moore. Oh, man. That guy, good character. You will see Kenneth Moore in the Twitch chat of the famous or infamous Hupsaya baiting him. You can tell there is literal froth coming out of his mouth. We'll appreciate our neighborhood Kenneth Moores. Great guy. Will we get a third hatchery? Because he's got Ling Speed, or he's got the gas coming in pretty early. Ling Speed does start. So this is the old 2-base Ling Speed opening off of a 15-15, hey? Famous for getting a really late third. And not have, but it's, I don't know. Is this good? What are we doing with this rogue? Show me what you got. What's your intent, my man? 2-base Zergling. It's the worst version of Zerglings. You need a lot of lava to build Zerglings, guys. All right, he's just gonna take it a bit later. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's just gonna take the third hatchery. Oh no, the Reaper comes back in. He's gotta hide that drone. Reaper doesn't see a drone. He'll go looking for more info. Oh, and he does go deep. MARU likes to dive, doesn't he? He's like, where's the lair, bro? He will see the Ling Speed, guys. You can see because the air is all wobbly. If you look at the spawning pool, even though he doesn't see the upgrade that we see how it's all wobbly there. Kind of looks like a friggin' windsock or something. Or like the face on someone's skin when they jump out of a plane or something like that. You know? There's visual tells on most structures. I think all structures if they're upgrading, actually. Engineering bays, the lights will turn on and start flashing. Forge starts kind of spinning a little bit. Most Zerg buildings kind of throb and jiggle a little bit. You can see here it's not wobbling nearly as much. People look at that and go, well, that's still wobbling. And I go, yeah, I know. But to me, it's very obvious the difference. I don't know always how to describe it. I just look at things and I can tell. It's a different type. There's different cadence to the throb, okay? So you see the red lights flashing and these little booty bits. These little bits are kind of dancing out of it. Going bloop, 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 bloop. That's how you see the engineering bays upgrading. No throbbing, please. Oh, look at the Zerg haters in chat. Come on. There's a few things that describe Zerg in all scenarios. Throbbing, moist. Throbbing, moist. What's another one? Orifices. Lots of orifices. Even the hatchery has an orifice on top. That's where all the steam comes out. I guess it's steamy making this many units. Anyway, guys, it's Carapace Hydra. Are we going to do a bust? This is a very cool 2.5 base Hydra build. We've seen this a bit recently. There is a very cool Hydra bust that Cyril killed Clem with on Tourmaline in Pigfest. An amazing build order. I don't know if this will be the aggro version like that, though. It might. Movement speed's on the way. Hydras are starting. Scan goes down. He sees the Hydra den. Maru better get tanks building right now. This is going to be a glass cannon versus glass cannon battle. Lings and Hydras against Marines. Both very high damage, very fragile units. So whoever wins a fight, usually it snowballs incredibly hard in their favor. Yeah. It's really very brutal, this situation. Now, Maru doesn't know this is an all-in. Seeing it fully mining natural looks kind of normal. It's just pretty early tech. It's the early tech that should tip him off. That maybe this third is not full of workers. And is that a fake gas? Rogue takes the 6 gas. He does build a few more drones right now. Looks like he's going to go for a 12, 15 Hydra poke across the map. See if he can find something. Groove Spines is on the way. Hydra's come forward, but they're going to get caught. Marines are very happy to grab a Hydra or two, but they only get a bit of damage on one. Looks like an Overseer just went down in the main. Tank's going to siege up on the high ground. He doesn't want that to be exposed. But look at that. Chadhammer, she sieges on the high ground. Maru, nice defensive position. I think there's no shame in lifting the third off temporarily. You don't want to do this for too long, but you also don't want to fight before combat shields is done. And look at that 2-2 timing. Maru's upgrades are an absolute menace. I think the trick to beating Maru is to take advantage of how fast he takes those upgrades. When Cyril absolutely walloped Maru the last time they played, the big adjustment he made is he was punishing these fast upgrade builds by attacking when the upgrades were even, before the upgrades would finish, or just straight up cheesing, knowing Maru would often skip a lot of safety to just rush the engineering base super early. And he really got under Maru's skin with those punishing builds, whereas so many players were just doing their own macro build, but it was kind of a chilled macro build, letting Maru rush upgrades, and then he would pick fights right after 1-1 finished, right after 2-2 finished, and that's not a recipe for success. Oh, Infestors! Guys, he's playing Hydra Bane! Hydra Infestor, not Hydra Bane! Oh gosh, me and Rainer have been trying to tell the other Zergs for the last few months. This rush to Baneling style off Hydras is really dumb. Get a few Infestors, then build a ton of drones, because Infestor Hydra can hold off far superior numbers of the opponent, and then go Banelings at Hive Tech. Early Banes aren't very useful, whereas a few Fungals scares the heck out of town. They either chuck a Clem, headbutt into the Fungal Hydra, and lose all their units, or they go back and they turtle up, and you've got plenty of room to cover the map in creep, because it's hard for them to even remove creep. Once you've got Hydra Infestor, they could get fungled from the Fog of War. Any moment, Infestor can pop out, fungal them. So it's actually really, it forces the Terran to like just be so much more paranoid. The presence of Infestors is such a good play. Rogue's going to go Lurkers off of it. Okay, cool. He's not even going to play, wow, is he going to go Viper Lurker? This is old school. Dude, I've been wanting people to do this, and I keep remembering you can't abduct siege tanks anymore. And that's the big thing, which has weakened this style. It's always been a good style to mix in, because people don't... It's never been the main style, but the old Let's Play Hydra Lurker used to be off Roach openings with a few Infestors. Now, because people have figured out this new Hydra build, it's smoother than ever to get there. Really cool to see how this plays. Oh my god, tanks in the open. Maru, what are we doing, bro? He's so afraid of Fungal, but he also doesn't want to just, like, get caught. He wants to go push. His 2-2's done. Oh, he's nice scan, but look at the way. He's got to be afraid of Fungal. Problem for Rogue is how does he fight from the high ground? You could try to catch him there. He's going to move back into scan. Oh, he's letting him past. I mean, Rogue's going to struggle. This corridor is a very scary area for Zerg. Unless you split your army to both sides and land Omega Fungals, which I just don't think you can do. He could have gone with the Fungal from the high ground, maybe. You could see the Marines steered to the south side to stay away from that ledge. It's really smart play from MARU. Very smart play. He's in an amazing spot. He's going to send another pack of Marines around the left side. Liberator into the natural, testing Rogue's multitask. Rogue intercepts that, does land a nice fungal on the Marines. The Hydra's going to be put another nice fungal. Amazing fungals. Holy moly, the Hydra Link jumps on top. The Liberator failed to distract him. Rogue slaps down the lib on the left, crushes the army on the right. He will lose his 5th hatchery, but I think that is a price he is very willing to pay. Oh me, oh my, what a devastating engagement that was. Even with the double upgrade disadvantage, the Marines all got stuck kind of behind each other in that corridor. The fungals landed big. The tanks went down way too quickly. I think you're meant to focus fire those infestors with the tanks, but MARU was clearly looking elsewhere when the fight was initiated, and Rogue just stomped him. Really well done. Extra barracks trying to go down. He's got some tanks here, some Marines. His factory is vulnerable, though. That's only his 2nd factory. The other one's not even building tanks right now, and he desperately needs tanks to hold on here. And Rogue realizes, I don't need to just commit fully to lurkers. I'll make some, but I'm going Banelinks. I'm going for a 3rd Evo chamber. You know, he's rounding out his style, rebuilding his 5th base. And no doubt a Nidus Worm is mere seconds away, because this is Rogue we are talking about. Oh, look at this! Main army goes south. Lurkers are going to run in, knowing there's no planetary, not much defense here. Burrow and clear all of this infrastructure. So smart. That's always the weak spot. We used to always talk about where can you attack with your first lurker timing's so important. But actually, oh, he should have gone up there, surely. Oh, he's going to just YOLO this army. These lurkers trying to engage across the gap. I don't know about that. I don't think they can reach there. Awkward attack, but he's got so many Hydras. Doesn't even matter. That fungal is beautiful. The planetary's not up yet. He's going to bust through. These lurkers not really a part of this fight. There is still one tank just shelling on him. Those lurkers could try to move up that left side. We'll see what he does. He's got to be careful here. Rogue, he's in a great position, but he's getting a bit excited. There we go. Lurkers now ranging the planetary. He's got lurkers over here. He can move this army up. There's no tanks up north now. They did reposition. Hydra's going to go for the libs. Oh, he's going to get pushed in. And those lurkers going to pull back down that ramp. These lurkers are actually able to attack across the gap a little bit. So it's kind of a clever idea there. Kind of using it like a siege tank position almost. Oh, nice. He's getting a bunch of SCVs. A bunch of SCVs. Purposely puts this outside of planetary range. So it's just going to target whatever's in range. Oh, no, it is just in planetary range. Never mind. So only when he targets separately will it do that. Whoa, how's he seeing up there? Oh, the Changeling got focused. So the Changeling does get focused, removes his vision. Massive counter drop. MARU up against the wall right now. Has to find a way to hold on. But this is a tough position. The 4th planetary gets busted. Top left side, he goes in for the counter. Can Rogue defend it? A new wave of Hydra Link pops out. Is it enough in time? He frenzies forward. The Marines are in front. The Marauders are meant to be in front tanking. Unfortunate positioning for MARU. His army on the right side trying to defend. The Lurkers coming forward. That's his last siege tank. Oh no, the tank goes down. He scans and tries to clear it, but the Marauders were already heavily wounded. Few lurkers fall, but he does not break the position. MARU. Rogue is able to hold onto the position. He's able to do well. These guys come back and stumble into the Hydra Infestor. Whoa, great fungal there. Even though Rogue was also surprised by that army appearing out of nowhere. A couple good fungals land down. MARU puts up a great defense on the high ground, but on the low ground, it is Rogue who comes out triumphant. And Rogue is on a massive economy. The income, 3,300 minerals a minute. He's on 89 workers to 81. His 5th and 6th base are both mining. MARU tries to chase, eats a fungal Hydra lunge to the face. A lot of Marauders go down there. A few more Lings and Hydras coming forward. What an excellent Hydralisk build this was. Into the lurkers with the infestors for the support early on. And I really love Rogue mixing in this build. What I've loved this season in this matchup is the variety in builds from both sides. I think this matchup has gotten so much better this season. A lot of people got complaints about the other matchups, but I think ZVT's been probably more fun than it's been in a long time this season. And it's really cool to see just such build variety on all sides. Awesome play by Rogue. Looks like he'll be able to break MARU here and get to the grand finals. What an awesome run through the lower bracket it's been here for Rogue. GG, well played.